So I am back in yet another background location. I'm actually at my sister's house at the moment and this is her sitting room sofa. So yeah, a new background for me. If you're wondering why I'm moving around a lot, I've actually been at my sister's filming some videos for our new channel, which has gone up a few days ago, and thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed already. We are so excited about it and totally overwhelmed by the response. So thank you if you've gone and subscribed, and if not, there will be a link in the info bar below if you haven't seen it yet. So today I thought I would do a rundown of my top 5 high-end foundations. Now this is a video that I've been requested a lot. I have done quite a lot of kind of best and worst videos in the past, but they mainly tend to be about drugstore products or high street products. I've done best and worst drugstore foundations, I think I've done eyeliners, mascaras, all of that stuff. But today I'm going to be doing a high-end foundation. If you aren't into high-end products, then this might not really be your thing, but if you are one of the people who has requested it, then I'm going to tell you all about my 6 favourite high-end foundations. Now, I like all of them for different reasons, so they're a little bit mix and match, and I did want to make it 5, but I really couldn't decide between them. So I'm going to start with my old faithful favourite, which you guys, a lot of you will know that I love this already because I have talked about it a lot in the past 18 months, I think, that I've had it. This is the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua. It's a very light foundation. It's very liquidy and you need to shake it before you apply it. It does feel very light and cooling on the skin. It leaves a very kind of flawless finish. A lot of people say this is a very light coverage foundation, but I actually find it's very buildable. So you can achieve a fairly high coverage from it if you build it up. But you also can use it as a very light foundation day to day and just blend it nicely like through your T-zone. You can even just use a tiny bit of it just to slightly perfect your complexion. I really like this. It stays a good amount of time, probably 6 to 8 hours I'd say, depending on if you use a primer or a setting powder. And the good thing about this foundation is that it seems to be popular with all sorts of skin types. I have normal to dry skin and I love this foundation, and I have friends who have oily skin and who also love this foundation. So it seems to be one of those foundations that everybody loves, and even if you're skeptical when you first try it, it seems to win people over. So I do really like this. It is pricey. All of these foundations are within the £30 to £35 kind of price range, so I'm not going to dwell too much on the prices because they're all quite similar. They're all fairly expensive, but I will list it in the information bar below if you guys want to know more about the pricings. The packaging isn't great for a high-end foundation, but apart from that, it's really compact, so it fits into your makeup bag perfectly, which I really like. And I think that's about it that I have to say about this at the moment. The next one that I wanted to talk about is a bit more of a kind of traditional foundation formula. It's a very liquid foundation. It's Jemma Kids Lighters Air Liquid Foundation. As the name suggests, this is a very light foundation, but it's also a very kind of natural, dewy looking foundation. I don't want to overuse the word dewy in this video, but it leaves quite a nice kind of satin finish to the skin, very natural, medium coverage, a little bit buildable, definitely not high coverage. It's more of a kind of everyday foundation. You can definitely wear this for daytime, but also build it up a little bit and wear it for night too. The packaging is good. You actually get, all of these are the same size, I think. I think they're all 30ml, apart from one of them actually, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute. But it just goes to show how much of a difference packaging can make. Like, this looks so much smaller than that, but usually they are 30ml. It has SPF 18, which is always good. I forgot to mention as well, this one has SPF 15. Yeah, and I do really like that. This is actually a favourite of my friend Tanya Burr. She uses it all the time and her skin always looks fantastic. So a really big recommendation, especially if you have kind of normal skin. I'm not sure how I would recommend this for oily skin because it is a little bit more of a moisturising formula. So that is the Jemma Kid Lighters Air. Moving on to a bit more of a lighter foundation, and this is a new one. This is the YSL Touche Clark foundation. I've done a full review on this recently on my YouTube channel, which I'll link in the info bar below if you guys want to go and check it out. This is a much more of a kind of everyday light foundation. If you don't like heavy foundation, if you don't like a lot of coverage, then this is perfect. It just adds a beautiful kind of glow, radiance, lots of kind of light to the face. If you have used YSL's Touche Clark in the past and you're a fan of that, this is basically like Touche Clark just for your whole face. So it is really good. It is very light. It's not going to provide you with a lot of coverage, but it is a lovely finish, very skin-like, dewy finish. Again, there's the dewy word, but I do really like this, and it's a little bit cheaper than you would expect. I think this is 28, considering it has really beautiful packaging, which these two don't. I think this one is 32 and the Jemma Kid is 25, and they both have really kind of plasticky packaging. This is gorgeous gold and glass packaging and it's fairly reasonable, I think, for a high-end foundation. The one thing about the Yves Saint Laurent foundation, which is a little bit of a downside to me, is that it doesn't have SPF in it, which I personally thought it should do, especially because it's a very light kind of daytime foundation. I thought it would have SPF, so that's the downside. If you want SPF in your foundation, this doesn't have it. Moving on to Shiseido foundations, and I actually have 2 of these. I tried to eliminate one, but I just couldn't, and it was meant to be top 5 high-end foundations, but it ended up being 6 because I love these both so much I couldn't not tell you about them. The first one is the Perfect Refining Foundation, which again comes in this dinky little packaging, perfect for a makeup bag if you are on the go and you don't want to carry around like heavy glass packaging like this one, which is nice, but if you're traveling or if you want to put it in your handbag or whatever, it's great. The coverage of this is medium and definitely buildable. I can wear this in the daytime and the nighttime, and it leaves such a flawless, just a beautiful finish. And I actually totally forgot about this foundation for about 8 months, maybe a year, until I went to LA last month, and I wore it pretty much every day whilst I was there, and I was vlogging, and I got so many comments about my skin during that month. I just was a total convert to it, and looking back, it really just leaves a beautiful finish to the face. It is a very, very liquid foundation. So if you like a bit of a thicker consistency, then maybe it's not one for you, but it does feel kind of moisturising on your skin. Again, I'd say this is more suitable for normal skins, maybe normal to dry, not so much for oily. But if you do have more oily skin, this might be a better recommendation for you. It's the Shiseido Sun Protection Foundation with SPF 30. Now, I actually haven't worn this foundation for a couple of months because the only shade I have is a very, very light shade. It's basically my winter shade, and I'm a little bit tanned at the moment. But I do absolutely love this foundation. It's seriously, seriously waterproof. If you put this on in the morning, it will not go anywhere, and I just dropped it on the floor. It will go on the floor. It won't go anywhere on your face until the evening when you take it off. I honestly haven't found a foundation that stays better on my skin. Again, it's a very like runny, thin formula, and it smells very distinct, quite floral. Another foundation that smells quite strongly is the Chanel one. If you don't like scented foundations, that might not be for you. It leaves an absolutely beautiful finish. It's medium to high coverage if you build it up. Like I said, it stays all day. I personally don't have oily skin, but I feel like this would be good for oily skin because the staying power is so fantastic. But if you have tried it on oily skin, then let me know how you feel about it. I also love the colour of the packaging. I think it's really cool. Yeah, so that is that. And the last one is a little bit of a different foundation, and this is from Dior. And it's the first foundation I've actually tried from Dior properly. I've tried 1 or 2 just once and never actually kind of used them, you know, get a sample and try them. But this is the first one I've tried from them, and it is absolutely fantastic. When I first got it, I was very, very skeptical, and I thought I wanted to try it because it's kind of something a little bit different. But I was very skeptical as to how I would like it. It's the Airflash foundation, which is actually a spray foundation, and this isn't the kind of atypical airbrush, because it's not a proper airbrush. If you guys know anything about airbrush makeup, you have a whole proper kind of airbrush kit for that. This is just like a spray can, and you shake it up. It's kind of like deodorant, weirdly, but it dispenses a very, very fine mist of foundation onto your skin. First things first, I thought this was going to transfer onto my clothes awfully, and into my hair, into my eyebrows, all that stuff. But if you're careful applying it, it's actually really, really surprisingly clean and tidy to apply. I absolutely love this. It leaves a very beautiful, natural finish to the skin. It doesn't really look like you're wearing anything, but there's something different about your skin. I wore this to a party last week, and 3 of my friends who I see on a very regular basis commented on how nice my skin looked. And I obviously wear foundation normally, so I was kind of like, that's kind of strange, but I was wearing this foundation, so yeah, it just leaves a very kind of, again, glowing finish, really beautiful, natural look to your skin, and it takes 5 seconds to put on, which is amazing. I like to spray it on a fine layer first, and then I spray a little bit into my hand, and then use my finger to blend it into the centre of my face, so into the areas where I want a little bit more coverage from it, and I find that works perfectly. You do get 70ml in this, but to be honest, I think you use a lot more than you would if you had a traditional liquid foundation, so I'm not sure how long this is going to last, because I think there's quite a lot of wasted product, obviously, because you're spraying it. It seems like a lot goes into the air and stuff, but then again, it doesn't go on your clothes, so I don't know where it goes. But I do really, really love this, and if you're looking for something new and different to try, and you like a kind of light, feeling foundation and also a like looking foundation, but it actually does something to your skin, then I would really, really recommend this. So that is it for my top high-end foundation. I hope you guys found this useful. Let me know what your favourite high-end foundation is in the information bar below, and if you have any other requests for kind of top 5 or top drugstore, best and worst, this or that videos, then do let me know in the comment section below. Until next time guys, I will see you soon. Bye!